So, but until it was composed by Vyasadevji 5,000 years ago, around 5,000 years ago. And how does it come? It comes in a Guru Parampara. Evam Parampara Praptam Emam Rajarsya Vida Sakalena Mahata Yogo Nasta Parantapam. So this Vedic knowledge, and for that matter, even if we have to take knowledge, even material life, we have to go to the office first. As soon as we are recruited, we don't get all the things, right? We are given a training, on-job training, some induction training. So, somebody cannot become directly engineer, somebody cannot become teacher directly, somebody cannot become doctor directly. So they are studying. After they study, they go through the training. If training is required in the material life, why not about the spiritual life? In the spiritual life also we need a training, and that training comes in a Guru Parampara. So this is how that Evam Parampara Praptam Imam Rajarsya Vido. Lord Krishna says Bhagavad Gita 4.2. And this Bhagavad Gita, so there is a very wonderful story that we want to narrate, that because anything that we need to have, whether it's Vedic literature or practicing God consciousness or studying or going from place A to place B or getting the milk in the morning, we need to have some, that the person is giving only milk, he is not giving poison. So what we have? A trust. We have faith, Shraddha. So this is the story about that Shraddha. So now if we have to study Bhagavad Gita, we must also have a faith. If we do not have faith, then even if we hear Bhagavad Gita, it will not help us to transform that. It will not help us. We will not be able to follow. We will not even have faith on that. How can we follow that? And if we do not follow, how can we actually transform ourselves? We need to have a faith, elementary faith, Shraddha. Without Shraddha, there is nothing can move. We cannot even live in this material life without Shraddha, right? Somebody says, okay, you are going to the college. What is the faith that they will teach me? Or you are taking the vegetables. What is the guarantee that it is only vegetable? There is no poison in that, right? If we have every time, if we do not have faith, we cannot live in this material life. So similarly, we need to have faith. And this is a very wonderful story. The story is the Brahmana and the cobbler. What is a cobbler?
Mends shoes.
Yes, right. The person who makes shoes or something like that. So once Narad Muni was traveling to the different places, and he sings the glories of the Lord Narayana, having in his hand, what is the musical instrument? Veena. And he sings the glories of Narada. Narada means Nara means Narayana. Da means who gives Narayana. So the person who gives the Narayana is called as Narad Muni, Devarsi Narad Muni. So it's clear. Okay. So that is the Narad Muni who is always having Veena in his hand and singing the glories of Lord Narayana. If you see in the commercial movies, Devarsi Narad is shown in a very different role. He is the one who comes and inside the quarrel and all these things. I mean, if you do not understand the context, it appears that he is doing that, or sometimes the commercial movies will show that, but he is the great and he is the Shakti Avesha avatar. Now, there are different avatars. There is a Leela avatar, there is a Guna avatar, there is Manvantara avatar, then there is a Shakti Avesha avatar. Just like Vyasdevji is the Shakti Avesha avatar. That means Lord has given some Shakti to him. So what is the Shakti that he has given to Vyasdevji? To compose the literature. So similarly, for Devarsi Narad, Krishna has empowered with the Shakti called as Bhakti. The Bhakti Shakti is given to Naradji. So that is where you see that. And who is the student of Narad? Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Valmiki Rishi, right? Vyasdevji, all those are great students. Whenever they have difficulties, what happened to Dhruva? Dhruva has the difficulties, right? He was going through that. He was insulted by his own stepmother. What to do? Then his mother said that go to the forest and find Narayana and then you worship him. But then on the way he met Devarsi Naradji, And Naraji says that, "Arey child Baba, why are you going to the forest? This is the age." He was testing him. This is the age that you must be playing cricket, you must be playing, no, not cricket, but the video game today. No cricket now. No physical game, only video games only. So you should be playing video games. Why? No, I want that. You have a lot of difficulties. I'm ready. Are you sure? Yes. Tell me what to do. Then he gives the mantra and he said, okay, you chant this mantra, and within a 6 months, what happened? Dhruva Maharaj could see Narayana in Sakshat, direct face to face, the darshan that he had. And even Prahlad Maharaj, when did Prahlad Maharaj hear the glories of Bhagavatam? When did he hear? He was in his mother's womb. Kayadu was sleeping, but Prahlad, as a small child in the mother's womb, he heard that. And that is where in Vedic literature or Vedic culture, it is said that when mother is carrying, she must always hear the Bhagavatam, she must hear Bhagavad Gita, she must hear Krishna books, she must read. Because even the baby, because it's conscious, as soon as the baby, now why there is a body? The body cannot grow unless and until there is a soul. This matter, today this table is like this, whole night, slowly, after 1 year, 2 years, will it grow? No. But a small child will grow. Why? There is a soul. Consciousness is there. Because the soul is there, the matter actually grows. If there is no soul, matter will not grow. So, when the body is growing in mother's womb, it means there is a soul. So the soul is there, that means it's a living entity. And that living entity is hearing. So that is where Garbhadhana Sanskar is very important. Today we do not know. When the parents are planning for the child, they don't know anything what to do, how to do. But if you have to buy a cell phone, we have n number of websites and do a lot of research. What is the specification, what is the cost, compare this with that, so much of research. But when we plan for the child, do you have any plan? Do we do anything? Nothing, because we are not trained. So there is something called as Garbhadhana Sanskar. So the living entities goes through the different sanskaras, starting from Garbhadhana Sanskara all the way to the Antyeshti Sanskara. What is Antyeshti Sanskara? The last Antyavidi Sanskar. So all those things, there are many sanskaras. Namavidhi Sanskara, then Annaprashana Sanskara, then Shabdaramba Sanskara, Vivaha Sanskara. What is called? Vivaha. Vivaha is a sanskar. Vivaha is a ceremony, very spiritual event. But today there is nothing left with the spiritual. It is all, so we cannot just without Vivaha live together and all things. So Vivaha is a very bona fide authorized sanskara that the couple live actually together. So, and then finally, when before that there is tonsuring the head, giving the namakaran, then karna bhed, then the giving the food to him first, annaprashan, aksharamba, all those things, sanskaras are there. When the living entity go through that, we have to do 3 sanskaras. Then the purification will happen. Today there is no, because we do not know there are sanskaras. There is no, we do not even know sanskaras are there. We do not know how to do that. What to talk about performing the sanskaras. We are far from our Vedic culture, and it is degrading. Earlier, the marriages used to happen into temple. Later it has started happen to in community hall. Later it started happening to beaches and resorts, and then destination wedding. Then maybe moon and here and there.
Undersea wedding.
Undersea Krishna. And who will be there to give the blessings? So you can see that degradation is happening, right? What's your plan? How would you like to do that? It's too early. I'm just joking, don't. So, but yeah, if parents are there, at least they will tell. Now the kids, they will not even listen, right? It is said that WhatsApp, I got one message that we are the last generation we are hearing from our parents, and we are the first generation we are hearing from our kids. Right?
If you will do like it will be orthodox, you are orthodox people.
Yeah, right. Yesterday in Guruvayur there was one person, he was saying that my father is a 74-year-old, still I cannot talk to him. And my son and daughter, oh, they will like anything. So you see that he's from North India. Anywhere there is North, South, does not matter. That was the culture. I mean, how many of us even today go in front of our father and say that, hey, give me dad? No. Today, parents will, there is nothing left. And we are the first one to hear from the next generation. And we are the last. We are following the instructions from our parents. You can see that culture. So, okay, we are from Naradji, we went to the Vyuha Sanskara. But yeah, some inputs so that we know what's happening. So during his travel, Narad Muni saw a Brahmana taking bath in the river. And then the Brahman asked, oh Naradji, Devarsi Naradji, are you going to meet our dear Lord? Yes, Naradji said, yes, I will meet, very soon I will be meeting the Lord Narayana. So can you do one help for me? What is the help? He said that, can you, when you go and meet Narayana, please ask this Brahmana, when will actually go to the spiritual world? And I want to know from that Lord, because when you go and meet him. So what the Brahmana asked the question to Naradji? Naradji ko kya pucha? When you go, are you going to meet Narayana? He said, yes, I'm going to meet very soon. So when you meet Narayana, you ask that this Brahmana from Bangalore, AECS layout, when he was taking bath in the AECS layout lake, and he met me there, when will he come to the spiritual world? When will we be free from the cycle of birth and death? Okay, Naradji said, all right, I will ask the Lord. Then after some time, Naradji was happened to pass to some humble, nice cobbler, and he was repairing the shoes on the roadside. And then he said, all glories to Narad Muni ki jai. So he asked Naradji, so are you also going to, oh my dear Lord Devarsi Naradji, are you going to meet the Lord Narayana? He said, yes, I will be meeting the Lord Narayana very soon. Can you please ask me, Narayana, when this small, humble cobbler will go back to the spiritual world? When we will be free from the cycle of birth and death? Same question asked by Brahman. Same question asked by cobbler. Naradji said yes. And then Naradji goes to Narayana goes to the spiritual. Naradji does not need any visa or something. He can go to anywhere, anytime. So Naradji meets our dear Lord. He said, oh, Lord says that he offer obeisances. And then he says, Narayana or Vishnu, Krishna asks, oh Naradji, kya kar sakte aapki seva? Is there anything I can do for you? And see our Lord, so humble. He said, hey Narayan. He asked, what can I do? He said, I have a question. He said, what is the question? I want to know. I met two personalities in Bangalore AECS layout. One is a Brahman and one is a cobbler. They asked two questions. When they will be coming to the spiritual world? And you want to know what is Lord Narayan's answer? Do you want to know? Yes. Lord Narayana said, the Brahmana will come back to me after 100 lives, and the cobbler will come back in this life itself, after this life, after finishing this life. And then Naradji said, surprised. Brahmana is supposed to, who is practicing all things, is supposed to be the first one to come as soon as after this lifetime. But it is the ulta. The cobbler is going to the spiritual world just after this lifetime, whereas the Brahmana will go after 100 lives that he has to take things. And then Naradji he's having questions on his face. Lord could understand. He said that to tell him that when you go, I will not answer why this. You go there and ask. They will ask you, oh Naradji, what my Lord was doing. And that time you tell that I was passing the elephant through the eye of a needle. Needle मतलब क्या बोलते हैं हिंदी में? सुई. हाँ, सुई का जो होल होता है ना, उसमें से हम ये डालते हैं, thread, right? Similarly, वो लोग Brahmana will ask, oh, did you meet my Lord? Yes. What was he doing? They will ask. So you tell the answer that Lord was putting the elephant, just like the Guru Ayur, there was a big elephant, 38 elephant in the sanctuary. So Lord was putting that elephant through the eye of that needle का जो होल होता है, कितना छोटा होता है, बहुत, उसमें से हाथी जाएगा क्या? So that was the things he said. So Naradji comes to the AECS left, and then he meets Brahmana. Oh, Brahmana said, the Lord said that you will see him 100 years. Is it? I don't believe. So then he said, okay, what was my Lord doing? He said, what was my Lord doing? Shri Gandharvika Giridhari Bhagavan ki jai, Narasimha Bhagavan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And then you see the Brahmana says that, I don't believe that even you saw the Lord. What are the Brahmana's things? Did you visit? Yes, I visited Lord Narayana. Brahmana said, I don't even believe that. By the way, what was he doing? You know, Narayana was putting the elephant through the eye of the needle. It is not possible. Impossible. How is that possible that the small, you see that small elephant, the big elephant passing through the hole of that? How is it possible? No, it is impossible. How can you do that? I mean, it looks like that you never met the Lord and you are cheating me by saying this imaginary thing. What are you doing? You are teaching me. This is all, you are making me fool. Narad Muni noticed his reaction, and now then he went to meet cobbler. He understood, right? So, what was the Brahmana's,
Mistrust.
his response and reaction was that?
Did not trust that Lord.
No, absolutely no trust. How is it possible that he can do like this? Then he went to the cobbler. Oh, cobbler, you will see the Lord after finishing this lifetime. Oh, my Lord is very merciful. What was Lord doing when you saw him? So the cobbler asked, what was my Lord doing? Did you meet? Yes. And what did my Lord say? He said that you will come after this lifetime only. Oh, my Lord is so merciful. What was my Lord doing? He said, yes, my Lord was putting the elephant through the eye of that needle. Wow, wonderful. What was the reaction of that? Naradji was testing, just like Brahman. He said, do you believe that? He said, yes, why not? If my Lord can put the big banyan tree into the small seed, what is the impossible for him putting the big elephant through the eye of needle? What to talk about one banyan tree? In a small n number of seeds, he can have n number of banyan tree. So, if he can do that, if he can make the banyan tree out of that things, if he can make all these stars, moon, earth is floating in the air, if he can do all the things, what is impossible for him putting the elephant through the eye of needle, right? Many times we have questions, oh, kaise kar sakte? What is impossible for him? So what is the difference between them? What are the difference between the Brahmana and the cobbler? Trust, the faith, the basic elementary faith Brahmana did not have. And the Brahmana is reading all the Vedas, and the Vedas is talking about that he has many eyes, many hands and legs. If he cannot believe, how can he actually do that? I mean, it's just a story. It's not that every person is like this or every person. The point here is emphasize that one should have a trust. So then Naradji understood that why that he's going after lifetime and where this Brahmana is taking 100 more lives to go, because he was lacking the faith. So Prabhupada said, so this is called as faith. This is the reason behind the belief. If Krishna can put a large tree with so many little seeds, is it so astounding that he is keeping all this planetary system floating in a space through his energy? It is simply meant for the devotees. They can understand. The non-devotees cannot understand. They will say, oh, these all are bluff. These are cheating. How can you imagine this? How can you believe this? So, now, I don't believe that. You show me practically. Seeing is believing. You show me, I will believe it.
That's what in Korea, in our Bhagavatam, they are like, Vishwasa Milai Hari means if you have faith, Hari, you will get Hari. If you Tarke Bahudara means Tark, if you do argue,
logical.
you will never get.
What can you do logic? Logic is within this material world. And if you have to understand which is beyond the logic, how can you? So we cannot understand which is a transcendenting the logic. Our Lord is beyond the logic, and how can you understand that Lord which through the logic which is beyond these three modes of materialism?
That's right.
We can understand to some extent, tarka, we can understand, but we need to have faith, Shraddha. Without faith, you cannot do that. No matter how much you hear, how much you read, we have to have faith. So that is the whole thing about that. So now coming to the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a Gita Upanishad. It is also called Upanishad. It is the essence of all the Vedic literature. And how we should understand the Bhagavad Gita? The spirit of Bhagavad Gita should be understand as spoken by who is the speaker of that? Who is the director of that? Krishna himself. And it must be accepted in the mood of submission. Just like who accepted that? Arjuna accepted that. And just like when we have a vehicle we purchase, along with the vehicle we get the manual. Similarly, when we are living this human form of life, we must have a guide, some manual. And what is that manual? Bhagavad Gita. So today it's all about Bhagavad Gita. So we have to have Bhagavad Gita, which gives us direction, how to understand what is the purpose of life, why I am here, what should I do that, why I am suffering so many things, what will happen after death, उसके बाद क्या होगा, कहाँ थे हम, where I before this, where would I be after this death. All these questions will be there, all those will be answered that. So Bhagavad Gita, Acharyas and great saintly people, they are comparing this Bhagavad Gita is like a jewel. It's like a very precious jewel, and the precious jewel, and it is divided into three things. So now suppose if you have some important thing in your house like money or jewel, so where do you keep? You keep into the living room, right? Or you keep in very closed in a locker, safe. So similarly, Bhagavad Gita, there are three divisions, and the first division is chapter 1 to 6, the middle division is called chapter 7 to 12, and the last division is called 13 to 18. How many chapters are there? 18. How many shlokas are there? 700 shlokas are there. The first division prominently called as Karma Yoga, chapter 1 to chapter 6. The first 6 chapter talks about the Karma Yoga, the last 6 chapter talks about Jnana Yoga, and the precious, the jewel, is talk about chapter 7 to 12 talks about Bhakti, and the Bhakti is middle, it's very precious between the Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. It doesn't mean that the first 6 chapter Krishna does not talk about Bhakti. It doesn't mean that he does not talk Bhakti in the last, but prominently he talks about Bhakti in the middle, prominently he talks about the Karma Yoga, prominently he talks about the Jnana Yoga. And Bhagavad Gita had 5 topics Lord Krishna talks about that. And what are the 5 topics about the Bhagavad Gita which actually Bhagavad Gita describes? First it talks about Ishvara, Bhagavan. Then it talks about time. What is the time? मैं काल हूँ, right? महाभारत B.R. चोपड़ा जी का जो आता था, मैं काल हूँ, चक्र जा रहा था. And Krishna says, Kalosmi Ham, Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, when he talks about the Vibhuti Yoga, he says that I am that time. So whatever is happening through the time, but time is the energy of Krishna, right? So we are getting the reactions through the time, right? We cannot get before or after. We have to get only at when the appropriate time is there. So that means we get the reactions when the appropriate time is manifested. So that comes through the Lord Kala. Then Jiva. Then there is a Prakriti, and the last but not the least is Karma. So all these 5 things are mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Jada, Jiva, Jagadish. That is nothing. Jada means Prakriti, Jiva is living entity, Jagadish is Ishvara, and then Kala and Karma. Out of these, the 4 things are permanent and 1 thing is not permanent. Eternal. So the 4 things are eternal and 1 thing is not eternal. What is not eternal? Jiva is eternal, no? Karma is not eternal. Jiva, it is said by Bhagavad Gita 2.11.12. There was never time I did not exist, nor you, nor this king in the future shall cease to be that. What is the beginning of that? 2.11. 2.12. न त्वहम जातु नासम न तुम नेमे जनाधिपा न चैव न भविष्याम सर्वे वयामत परम. He says that we all were there in the past, we all will be there in the future, and we are there. So jiva is eternal, the soul is eternal. Soul is not that nainam chiddanti shasrani nainam dahati pavak na chainam kledayanti apo na shoshati maruta jatasya dhruva. So 2.22 again. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता न भुवा अजो नित्यं शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. The sharire can be killed, but atma cannot be killed. न जायते, there is no janma. न जायते न म्रियते, no death for that. The soul is eternal. So soul is not temporary. So what is the temporary? Karma. Because karma can be changed. Karma can be changed. We are suffering because of karma. But if you practice God consciousness, if we practice Krishna consciousness, then we can remove our karma and we go back. So karma is not things. Okay, so out of there are 700. So everyone is in this material world, every living entity is independent to think or desire. We can desire, but the fulfilling of one's desire depends upon the supreme will. We saw there are 5 factors. Our endeavor, then there is a chesta, there is a body, then there is a daivam, the mercy of Krishna. We saw that in one of the session, that if everybody is putting endeavor, then everybody should be Sachin Tendulkar, everybody should be Ambani's, everybody should be Prime Minister, everybody should be bureaucrats, T.N. Seshanji or whoever. So not everybody becomes. So there must be all 5 factors, our endeavor, blessings of Lord. So even if we desire, but the blessing has to be there. So we can desire, Lord will sanction and Prakriti will execute. So all these are Prakritis, our body and everything is Prakriti. So but who is the person who desires that? We desire. And that is where, who is responsible for that? We are responsible for that. We cannot say that, oh, Lord has sanctioned. Lord is sanctioner. But who is the designer? Who is the person who is desiring that? We are the desirer. So that is where it is said that man proposes, God disposes. पहले हम इच्छा करते हैं और भगवान उनको सैंक्शन करते हैं और प्रकृति उसको एग्जीक्यूट करती है. So out of 700 shlokas, how many shlokas Lord has spoken? Any guess? More than 500. Okay, very nice. Closer. Arjun? 84. Very good. Sanjay?
maybe 3, 4.
41. Or Dhritarashtra? 1. Very good. So Lord Sri Krishna, 574. Arjun, the disciple of Lord Sri Krishna, asked 84 shlokas he spoke. Sanjay spoke 41. Many shlokas he spoke in 11th chapter. 11th chapter, when initially when Lord Sri Krishna is showing the Vishwarup, then Sanjay explains what Arjuna is saying. Then Krishna explains what he is showing. Then Arjuna is saying what he's actually, Arjuna is explaining. So same 3 times Vishwarupa is explained in 3 words. So that time many shlokas are spoken by Sanjay. And then the last few shlokas also spoken by Sanjay. Initially some shlokas are spoken by Sanjay. So total 41 shlokas. How many shlokas by Lord Sri Krishna? Arjun. Then Sanjay. Dhritarashtra. So we'll today quickly finish in another half an hour for till 7 o'clock. And today some of us, I have to leave 7 o'clock because we have some service. So somebody will lead the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and then we continue from there. So Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 is called as, in Sanskrit it is called as, anybody knows? Or in English Prabhupada Prabhupada gives the title of each chapter. What is the first title of the chapter 1? Introduction is before the chapter 1. Observing
Observing the battlefield.
the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. In Sanskrit it is called as Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Vishad is lamentation. Arjuna is lamenting. So it has around 43 shlokas. The first 1 to 12 shlokas, it is Dhritarashtra who is speaking and Duryodhana who is doing his diplomacy, that is being spoken. And the very first shloka that everybody knows, that Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samavetaayutsava Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvat Sanjaya. Sanjaya. Yes, Mataji. Translation padenge?
O Sanjay, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do?
So Dhritarashtra was a Dharmakshetre, Kurukshetra. So the Kurukshetra is not an ordinary place. It is called as Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra. Samaveta Yutso, when they all assembled, Mamaka, my sons, Pandavas, the son of Pandu Maharaj. Kima Kurvata Sanjay. Oh Sanjay, what did they do that? Now the question is that when they, last time we discussed that, when they are going for a toss on the cricket match, what they are going to do? They will play cricket. When they are on the battlefield, what they are going to do? They are going to play. So the question of Dhritarashtra shows something different. So he has a fear and he also has some hope. And so the inquiry shows the fear, some concerns. So that is why he is saying Kurukshetra is a Dharmakshetra. It is not ordinary place. It is a Dharmakshetra. Mamaka, what did my sons do? And what is the Pandavas? So here, immediately now, they all come from they all called actually Kauravas together. But now he says, this is my sons and Pandava's sons. So he separated from there. And now on the battlefield, they are supposed to fight. And he's asking, so he's hoping that this Dharmakshetra will influence, because the Pandavas are very righteous people, they are dharmic people, and as a dharmic people they will not involve into this battlefield, who will kill and all those things. They will abstain from fighting, and once they will abstain from fighting, who will be the winner? My sons will be winner, and they will happily, my son will become, he will continue the king and he will enjoy. So that was the intention of Dhritarashtra asking. And of course he has a fear. क्या कर रहे हैं? उधर से युद्ध ही करेंगे और क्या करेंगे? And then Duryodhana. Now Duryodhana is also doing a diplomacy. Paschyatam Panduputranam Acharya Mahatim Chamam Vyudhanam Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. So now he is going to. So Duryodhana is going to all the important peoples in his team. And who is the one important person in his team? No, here. Dronacharya. Now, because we have to encourage, motivate, right? So it's a diplomacy that Duryodhana's diplomacy is explained. Now he's going to Dronacharya, Acharya. So he's going to tell him that, oh my teacher, behold the great army. Please read, Prabhu. Translation.
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent smile, the son of Drupada.
Now, instead of saying the son of Drupada, you would have directly mentioned the name of the Drupada. What is the name of Drupada? Drushtadhyumna. He did not mention Drushtadhyumna. He mentioned. What is the reason?
He was invoking Acharya.
Exactly.
One is to obviously he was dispelled, and the Drushtadhyumna was also, there was some quarrel between him and
Yeah. So in the past there was some kind of quarrel between Dronacharya and Draupadi. They were friends in the Gurukul time, and then Draupadi promised that I will give half when I become a king. I will give my half of the kingdom. And then the Dronacharya ji gaye udhar, और this Draupadi said, "कौन सा आप कौन हो? मैं king हूँ, आप कौन हो?" Then it was insulted, and then there was a fight. And then when the Kauravas or the Pandavas were there, and then when he gave a teaching to them, then the Guru Dakshina said, "Go and fight. Bring this Draupadi in front of me." Dronacharya asked, and then Kauravas went. They couldn't, but then Arjun went, and then they bound him. So there was a some enmity between them. So that Duryodhana, what he's doing? He's reminding him of that enmity so that he can fight with. So because Dronacharya always has a soft corner for Pandavas, so he wanted to remove that, and he can give his 100%. So you see that diplomacy of Duryodhana. So shloka number 2 and 3, Duryodhana's fear and diplomacy is described. He approaches Drona due to the inner fear, and referring to the son of Draupadi as a Drushtadumna, provokes. He provoking Dronacharya so that Dronacharya should be there for his things. We can see here the important lesson that we get from the chapter shloka number 1 to 12 is that this attachment, and one of the things that one of the session we had is attachment. When we are actually suffering too much, when there is too much of attachment, material attachment and insecurity always lead to the unhappiness, fear and anxiety. Very simple example. For example, today you may not read the newspaper, but read newspaper or you read the news on the soft copy. There are many incidences happen when the person left his body, there is accident and all things. We may feel little bit things, but when our near and dear one get actually just a small cut, we become so much of distress, right? Why? Attachment is there. We are not saying that we should not have having son, and that attachment is natural. But saying that wherever there is attachment, then you have insecurity, and that will lead to the unhappiness, fear and anxiety. Insecurity means we are not secure. Always a fear that kya hoga, what will happen to me, whether I will win or no, whether I will be successful or no, whether I will live or no, whether I will be victorious or no. It's always insecurity. The security will come when we have a strong connection with the Supreme Lord, because He is the one who always gives the security. Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. So Bhagavad Gita 9.22, it says that whatever you lack, I will give you, and whatever you have, I will preserve that. Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. And that is the slogan of LIC. So LIC is that I will give you what you have, or what you lack. I will preserve what you have. And then after that, the omnious results, or what is going to happen. Oh, son Dhritarashtra, don't worry. Anyway, their victory is actually assured. And what was there are different signs of the Pandavas' victory is actually mentioned. So here, one of the Pandavas' confidence is mentioned. Please read the translation, Mataji. Any one of you can read.
The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious, vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. So now when Kauravas blew their conch, nothing is mentioned by Vasudeva. But when Pandavas actually blew their conch shell, what happened? It was very uproarious, vibrating in the sky and earth in all the directions, and it shattered the heart of the sons of Dhritarashtra. So there is a confidence in the Pandavas blowing the conch shell. शंख को जब बजाते थे तो उसमें से डर लग रहा था कौरवों को. But when the Kauravas blew conch shell, nothing happened. So it shows that what is going to happen. The victory is on Pandava's side. So the next, it actually shows the signs of the victory of Pandavas. So the next 13 to 20 shloka. So the first 1 to 12, what we saw? 1 to 12, the fear of Dhritarashtra and the diplomacy of Duryodhana. He says that, oh, our army is protected by Bhishma and things, whereas the army protected by Bhima, and they are limited. Our army is a big one, we are unlimited. So he is actually encouraging, motivating, going to the Bhishma, going to the Dronacharya, provoking Dronacharya by taking the name of Drupada, and then
Then after that, there are some signs of Pandavas mentioned, which is the victory of the Pandavas, which is sure that, oh, Dhritarashtra, do not worry. Whether you desire or not desire, the victorious will be Pandavas. And there are 8 signs that which is mentioned in, first of all, the first and the foremost is that the Krishna's presence. Jayastu Pandu Putranam Esham. It is assured that the victory will be from victory of Pandavas, because Krishna is present. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanu. Wherever Lord Krishna is there, victory is Sri Vijaya Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama 18.78, last shloka. So wherever is the Rishikesha, the director of senses and mind, Rishikesha. Rishaka means senses, Rishikesha means the one who controls the senses. It's Lord Krishna, Rishikesha. So the first and the foremost is that Lord Krishna's presence. Then the fortune. And who is the husband of the goddess of fortune? Madhava. Madhava, the husband of goddess of fortune, Bhagya Lakshmi. So the fortune will be along with Pandavas, because when Arjuna and Duryodhana went to Krishna and he has given a chance that ask whatever you want, and what did Duryodhana choose? Narayani Sena. Whereas what did Arjuna did not have option, but what was left to Arjuna was Krishna. See, you see the calculative mind. The calculative mind said, oh, this big army will able to what this alone Krishna, akela Krishna kya karenge? Kuch nahi karenge, right? So he thought that, okay, let me take the Narayani Sena. But Arjun had to choose because he had no choice. There was only 2 things. Either you take Narayani Sena or you take me. And Arjun chose, or Arjun had to accept Lord Sri Krishna, Madhava. The third one is that Divya Shankar, transcendental Shankar. The Shankanan, Krishna's Shankar was Panchajanya Rishikesha, Devadatta, Dhananjaya. And Arjuna's Shankar's name was mentioned as Devadatta, whereas Unka Shankar Nam was not mentioned there. And the chariot that was Arjuna was landed, or was actually things launched on that was given by Agni Dev. So how everything, Devatas also helping Arjun to make sure that he's a victorious, the fire god. And who else were there with Arjuna? So Arjuna had a chariot given by Agni Dev, and he also had Hanumanji, Kapi Dhwaja. So there was a Dhwaja, and on that Dhwaja was Hanumanji. And Hanumanji blessed Bhima, that when he was actually, he wanted to teach a lesson to Bhima. Then he took a form of Vanara and then put his tail there. And Bhima said, "How can I cross that? Because we are not supposed to call the human beings. Suppose now Prabhu is sitting there, I cannot cross on his leg and all things. It's not a good Vaishnava etiquette. So we go side by side. Even if food, we do not cross the food. So how can I cross?" He said, "Then you lift. I am so old." Then Bhima was trying to lift. Bhima couldn't try. He tried. He said, and Bhima was not an ordinary. He can lift the elephant. He can actually throw the elephant to the things, and nothing happened. He said, "Who are you?" Then he has shown that form of Vayuputra, Hanumanji, and then he blessed. "Do not worry, I will come when there is a battlefield, and when you uproar, I will also uproar along with you, and that will shatter all the Kauravas. And not only that, the elephants and all the animals will just die just by hearing the shatter of Hanumanji." So Kapi Dhwaja. Next is, what was the other thing? That the venue is Dharmakshetra, Kurukshetra, holy place. It is not an ordinary place. And the next is that again the shattering of their hut, shloka number 19. And then last is that Bhishma pacifying the council, no chance of the victory. So Bhishma is okay, he just blew the shame. There was assured that there is no possibility of. So all these 8 signs shows that Pandavas are going to be victorious. This is in the second section. So 1 to 11, where the diplomacy of Duryodhana and the Dhritarashtra's fear, shloka number 13 to shloka number 20 talks about the signs of Pandavas' victory. And what is the key lesson from here? The key lesson is that we should always have a Rishikesha. We should take a shelter of Rishikesha. We should always have the Madhava along with us. And when there is a Madhava, there is a Bhagya Lakshmi there, everything is there. But today we want only Lakshmi, we do not want Narayana. We want Sita Devi, but we do not want Prabhu Ramchandraji. And that is Ravana mentality. And when you know what will happen, it will be crushed, it will be destroyed, it will be vanquished.
One question.
Anji Mataji, boli.
What was the last point Bhishma's pacifying counsel?
Bhishma's pacifying counsel means that there was nothing happened through that. He was just blowing the counsel, okay, nothing is going to happen. So he just pacifying that, okay, we have to accept the thing. So just like when the Pandavas blew the counsel, there was a shattering in their things. Whereas the Bhishma's counsel was giving the pacifying to the Pandavas as well as to the Kauravas. So there was no any fear or any symptoms appeared either in Pandavas or Kauravas. So the lesson is that one should take the shelter. And what is the best way of taking shelter in this age of Kali? Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Eva Kevalam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then after that what happened? Now what happens after that? Bhagavad Gita chapter shloka number 21st onwards. Any thought? Arjun now asked Krishna, "Oh Achyuta, please take my chariot between
The two armies.
two armies. Sena yoru madhe sthapitam Achyuta." Arjuna uvacha Senayor uvayor madhe ratham sthapitam me Achyuta yavad eta nirikshe aham yuddha kaman avasthitam kair maya saha yuddhayam asmin rana samudyam. Please read from.
Arjuna said, "Oh, infallible one, please drive my chariot between two armies, so that I may see the present here, who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms."
सेनयोर उभयोर मध्य रथम स्थापितम, मतलब टेक माय चैरियट, दोनों आर्मी के बीच में मेरा चैरियट. नाउ व्हाई अर्जुन इज सपोज्ड टू फाइट? व्हाई ही हैज टू निरीक्षा अहम मींस निरीक्षा मींस
Check.
let me observe, let me check. Nirikshayam, what they, with whom I must fight? Oh, let me check who are there. And then he saw his mama, uncle, भाई, cousin सब देखे और बोले कि मैं नहीं fight करूँगा. So that is the uncertainty, bewilderment, and there were turning point. And Arjun gave the 5 reasons that he would not like to fight, and those are in the shloka number 31 to 42. And do you know what are those 5 reasons?
Yeah, one is the relation, the other side.
Okay, relation.
Is it team?
It is like Adharma, what he thought.
Okay, right.
After this, there will be certain things will happen.
Okay, very good. Let us see. Compassion. He is a sadhu. Now he gives so many reasons. He is dharmatma. And any sadhus who would like to kill? Nobody would like to kill, right? Even once we were hearing the story of Mrugari the hunter. Do you remember that? We were there. Mrugari the hunter. He would not even stamp on the ant, right? So what to talk about killing someone? So definitely he said he is a compassionate nature. How can I kill someone? Because we are neither created, we are not created, so we have no right to kill someone. Right? Even though somebody say, oh, that we are this body, we can kill. No. Did we give birth to the, no, we have no right, we are not created, so we have no right to take somebody's life. So compassionate is. Next is, now if I do all the things, if I enjoy, but to whom I will share that? Because there is no enjoyment. All the uncles, all the relatives will be died. With whom I will share that? Loss of enjoyment. Next, Prabhu said the sinful reaction. If I kill, it's a sinful action. The reactions will be there. And next is that adharma. Kurukshetra pranasyanti Kula Dharma Sanatana. So there will be destruction of the family because the elderly people will be killed. When the elderly people will be killed, the woman in the family will not be protected, and because the family will not be, the woman will not be protected, there will be Varna Sankara, unwanted progeny, and Varna Shankara will be there. So the society will actually go into the ruination, and that is what we are seeing today. And the last, so these are 4 reasons he gives into the first chapter, and the last reason that gives in a second chapter. And what is that second chapter? He gives reason that I do not know whether I should fight or I should not fight. So what is that? Doubt, confusion, indecision. So that is the last reason that Arjun gives, which is indecision, which is the shloka number 6 from the chapter number 2. So these are the 5 reasons that Arjun gives that he should not fight. What are the 5 reasons? Compassion, loss of enjoyment, sinful things, Kurukshetra pranasyanti kula dharma sanatana, indecision. Very good. So now this chapter devotees made into a kind of acronym, and that acronym is called as doubt. So Prabhu will finish in another 5 minutes, 2-3 minutes is almost done, and then we will give the chanting and one of us will lead that. So this acronym is called as doubt. D O U B T. And the first doubt is that Dhritarashtra, D as in Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, that they are doing all the diplomacies and all things. Chapter number, shloka number 1 to shloka number 12. The next is very unwanted results, matlab whatever impeding results, which is called as omnious result, O, shloka number 13 to 20. Then after that comes U as in uncertainty, which Arjuna had, shloka number 21 to 27. Then the B as in bewilderment, क्या करना है समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, बहुत confusion है. B as in bewilderment. And the last T as in when there is a cricket match, and after that they will analyze what is the result is okay, but why it happened, there is one particular point, what is called as turning point. Because of that wicket, that everything lost or something, T as in turning point. So that is shloka number 31 to 41. So this is the acronym called as D-O-U-B-T, doubt, which is because it's a doubt of Arjun. So the overall theme of his Arjuna Vishad Yoga, Dhritarashtra and Duryodhana, the omnious result. Then U as uncertainty, B as in bewilderment. Bewilderment is confusion, I do not know what to do. And finally T as in turning point. Okay, so that is the quick summary. Today I haven't early because I have to leave by 7 o'clock. Any quick question or comment? Any questions or comment? Is it clear? The chapter 1 is Arjuna Vishad Yoga. It's clear? Okay. If you do not ask, I'll ask. So what is the summary that you understand from the chapter 1? Sharanagati to Krishna. Okay, very good. Any other points? What is the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita talks about? Overall summary. What is the overall summary?
To have faith.
To have faith. Okay. Or in terms of events, what happens? What happened into the first chapter?
The inception of the what? The situation.
The situation, the inception of the what? Very good. What else? Duryodhana's diplomacy, Arjuna's doubt, Arjuna asking Krishna to take the chariot between 2 armies, and then he said that my mouth is drying up, my hair is standing on that, my Gandiva is slipping from my hand. So he gives a different reason that. And then what is the practical applications? Mataji said surrender, having a faith. What else? What is the main theme that is coming now? What else?
Krishna told nothing is permanent.
Nothing is permanent. Okay.
So whatever you will be doing, it will be dharma.
Okay, dharmam to saksha, following Krishna. Okay,
Everything is Maya, so leave it, do the karma and leave everything to it.
follow instructions of Guru and Krishna. Though everything is related to Maya, but the Maya can be used because all this body is also Prakriti, can be used when we chant the name of the Lord Hari, when we use our leg to come to the temple, when we use our ear to hear of that, when we use our mouth and tongue chanting and eating, taking prasadam. So everything can be used in the service of Krishna. Okay, faith, then somebody says surrender and all the things. Very good. So that concludes our chapter 1. This was just a makeshift things. Next week we will have whatever we have discussed so far, the summer, the practical applications we discuss in the next things, and following that from the January 19 onwards we will form a small groups. The groups will be announced, right, Prabhu? Next week we will announce the small groups, and then we will continue our journey in a small groups to give the personal attention to become, because now this mode is okay for initial things, but when we want to have more closer connections, we have to have smaller things, and where we discuss in a small group, we come together and discuss. So that is where will happen from starting from the January 12th. So next is the 5th. 5th we'll have summary, and 12th onwards we'll have into small groups. And we are also very happy to announce that on this Tuesday, what is on Tuesday? 31st. Of course, our Vedic literature does not have, but now people are doing. So there is opportunity for all of us. So what is the opportunity for all of us? To engage into